刚才我们听到的这首歌是一位魁北克的朋友自编自弹自唱的作品。那么今天我们请到了这位朋友李海生，欢迎你到我们的演播厅。
谢谢您。
刚才我说了，这首歌是你自己写的，自己弹 guitar， 自己拍的 the video it's you。
对了，对。
And you do the montage.
Everything.
So everything is you. 你很了不起，不简单。
谢谢你，谢谢你。认识你我很高兴，还有在这儿我很高兴。
你很高兴，你的中文说得好一些，还是英文说得好一些？
我的中文不太好，可是我练习很多的。我每天练习。
每天练习多长时间
？3个小时。啊。我来介绍一下。
好啊。
我35岁。我是音乐家，我弹吉他15年了。哦。还有我去年去过中国，我2个月在南京大学学习汉语了，那是很好玩，很有意思。I loved it, and I would like to share with people about what a great experience being a foreigner in China was, and it was just fantastic, especially the beautiful city of Nanjing, which is not the most well-known Chinese city, but as far as I'm concerned, a real Chinese experience, because it's a big city, it's a booming city, but at the same time, it's so remote. You don't have very many English speakers there, and people aren't really, very shy about speaking English. So it was an interesting place to be. When the minute I got there, I couldn't speak a word of Chinese. I couldn't read any signs.
But I also know you studied some Chinese in Concordia, right? Before you went to Nanjing.
Actually, it was after. After. When I set foot in Shanghai, the Shanghai airport, to take the bus to Nanjing, it was like nothing.
You don't know nothing.
Zero. Zero. So, but ever since then, I've studied every day since I got back. Because going to Nanjing, I basically fell in love with the city, and I have so many friends. I get emails from them all the time. Still, almost a year later, and they're still saying, "When are you coming back?" So. Being there was such a great experience for me, because it was not, it's like if you're a foreigner and you're there, you're already a rock star, basically. Now, if you're a foreigner who's carrying a guitar, now they want to hear you play. They're just so interested. It's an opportunity for them to learn about your culture. And, I went down there to study with 15 other Canadian students. People
from Concordia or from Canada?
They were mostly from Concordia, but a lot of them, or some of them, just ended up taking going for the trip just for the sake of doing the trip. The trip is, you study 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and you practice. You have 2 hours with a grammar teacher and 2 hours with a word teacher. She teaches you new words, and then your assignment is go out and exist, try to survive, order stuff, buy food, buy stuff, meet people. So, we would, just walking down the street, people would just look at us with such curiosity. I felt kind of like being like an animal in a zoo. They weren't looking at us bad. They were just looking at us like, oh, wow, what's he about? Well, what on earth would bring him to Nanjing? So after a while, I wanted to say things to these people, and it's just like it got a little frustrating, because we would study so hard, and 4 hours of class and then 3 or 4 hours of homework, and then try to meet people. It's just like, and then somebody says a couple of things to you just don't understand. So I had to make it so that I could try to express myself. So I got the idea. Well, I'm a musician. I've been doing music for so long. Why don't I, try to mix it up a little bit, try to get some music in there. So I started out learning classic Chinese songs, Teresa Tseng and that type of thing, and. I would play them for people. People always wanted to hear me play,
Did you ever try to play in the street with your guitar?
I played everywhere. Restaurants, streets, the hotel we stayed at, everywhere. Any opportunity I could, if somebody wanted to hear me play, it's like, no problem, I'll try. But after a while, I said, okay, I need to start writing Chinese music. I have to try, because that way I can prepare something, and I can express to them how I'm feeling. People see you play, and they hear you sing, they kind of get a sense of the type of person you are. So,
I Love Nanjing is the first song that you wrote?
Yeah, that was really the first shot at it. And it's interesting because I built it off grammar points we learned in school. Like the first grammar point they told us was the way Chinese people talk is I, at a certain place, at a certain time, do something. That's what we learned there. That was like your basic sentence construction. So I said, okay, well, how can I apply that to like a bunch of different things that have to do with Nanjing? So I started using I at Hunan Lu, go to eat. I at, all the places that have to do with Nanjing. So I did that, and that song actually, I ended up playing for my final exam, and my teacher really seemed to like it. And then after that, the last day, the school threw a big banquet for us, and they had all like the dean of the school was there, and a lot of people were there, and I brought my guitar because I was going out playing afterwards. So they had been talking, so they said, well, my teacher, Duan Lauscher, who was the host of the organization from Concordia, of the trip, he said, well, how about, why don't you play it for them? So yeah, sure. So we played it again, and it was just like, oh man, it was the positivity we got back was the dean of the school was there, was clapping. He was really into it. It was awesome, and that positivity happened all over the place in Nanjing. It was just like people were so interested, like I would make friends, and then I would go back to my hotel, and like, the front desk would call and say, come downstairs, and I'd be like, well, why? He goes, well, a bunch of people are downstairs waiting for you. I'm like, I wasn't expecting anybody. I go downstairs. Really? It was a bunch of people who I didn't even know. They were friends with somebody who I'd met a week earlier, and they heard Li Hai Sen Hen Hao, Hen Ku. So like no problem, come and I'd end up talking with them, and all 15 of us, we were kind of doing the same thing. So when it came time to leave, we just had this army of friends, like everybody. I made 3 friends one night. Somebody else would bring, like anytime you came back to the hotel, you didn't know who was going to be there. It was just a bunch of people who wanted to learn about us as much as we wanted to learn about them. So when all this started happening, I said, I definitely want to write music about this, write Chinese style music. It's like, my music is like North American sound, North American acoustic guitar, Western melodies, but I sing in Chinese.
Are you going back to China in the future?
Yes, I'm going next month.
Next month?
Yes, I'm going to study at Zhejiang University in Hangzhou.
Okay.
So
definitely you are going to continue your study of Chinese.
This is something I'll never stop. I want to continue learning Chinese. Like Chinese, this is why I wanted to mix it with music, because I've been so into music my whole life. Chinese is there with music. Like I'm as into learning Chinese as I am into music,
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for being with us.
Oh, sure.
And I will share with our audience a little bit more of your work.
Feng, you the man.
Okay. Laurie 哈，现在越来越多的外国朋友、西方朋友哈，到中国去体验生活，就像我们到这里来体验生活一样。
对，其实可以说我们的中国文化、中国的这个语言哈，对西方人让西方人越来越感兴趣了。
确实是。
好，那么观众朋友，我们欢迎更多的朋友继续和我们保持联系，给我们多多提供话题线索。我们的联系 email 地址呢，仍然是 china@chmontreal.com。
我们节目的主要内容和播出时间还将继续刊登在《蒙城华人报》7天和《华侨新报》上。好，观众朋友，我们下周同一时间再见。
再见。
5只喵，很好，礼物太深，很远，下有的是会更好玩，所以5只不自喵。